And here we are. So you've been working a lot this week, Aura. Reb, what have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Working.
Working.
Yeah, I am a manager at T-Mobile, and so a lot of my time is consumed with training calls, and we are doing a new hire, and so it's like a bunch of stuff that I'm picking up right now.
Oh boy. So you're like, oh yeah. We had a week at the library. I work at a library in the customer service end, and it was just I have the next 2 weeks off. I planned that right before my birthday, and this week has seemed like it has dragged on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just like this guy pulled his mask down and then coughed into open space, just
what
because he could, or like this guy has bed bugs, or and so
wow,
yeah, things are afoot at the Circle K, my friend. But
that's disrespectful.
things.
You know what you need to have? You need to have one of those like water guns that you can refill the water in, the little small clear ones, and just squirt them in the face.
Just kind of like a cat.
Just hit him one time.
Just like just a little spray bottle. Hit him in the face.
Yeah.
No.
Like the cat. Yeah.
No.
Like you do with a cat.
Bad.
Yeah. Shake the pennies. Shake the jar of pennies.
Bad boy.
Yeah. Just shake it. Oh man, that would be wonderful.
I remember one time a friend of mine. I used to play drink. I wouldn't say I said drinks. I played pranks on him a lot. I don't even know why he considered me a friend. I think I was like 17, and one time I put like the white apple cider vinegar or whatever in his water bottle.
Oh.
And I put it in the fridge because we drink a lot of water, so I put it in the fridge, and he didn't feel like drinking that night. I was like, okay, cool, we'll just wait till tomorrow. Well, his mom went to church that day, took the water bottle, and
no.
Yeah, she called and she cussed us out, and she's like, I can't even talk to no man at church because I'm single and I got the stinky feet breath. And she was pissed. So
it's wonderful.
It was a bad time.
Not for her.
Not at all.
Oh man. But welcome in everyone to episode 254 of the Planet Destiny podcast. I am your host this evening, Dan Finity, and tonight I am joined by normal roundtable co-host Aura. How are you?
Normal is a subjective term we like to use. First time anybody's ever called me normal.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be the last. I won't make that mistake again. And our guest for this evening, Rebuken. How are you?
Hello.
Welcome in.
Good to have you, Reb. I know you reached out to me about being on. I was like, yeah, I'll talk to Dan, man. I don't even breathe on my own anymore. Good to have you. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you talked to each other.
I am
too.
Man.
Me and Aura have a date. It's like we're supposed to get some chicken sometime. We don't know when.
Oh man, I can't wait for that.
Oh man, what like where? Do you guys have like?
We were talking about Guardian Con like last year, but I had to play because I had some situation happen.
And then this year had some situation happen too.
Well, I think the situation happened to everybody.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah. So maybe 2021. We'll see.
You can't avoid the situation.
We got a dinner date for sure. We're gonna eat. I like to eat, man. I'm an eater. I'm a fan. Not an eater of worlds. That's different. That's like you get it. But
yeah, understandable. So Reb, let's start at the beginning. Who are you and what do you do on the internet, good sir?
I'm Rebuken. I play video games. Not playing. I am of course, a streamer on Twitch, and I play Destiny 2. I also play other games that are subjective to my liking off stream, but I only stream solely Destiny 2. I've been a PvP player for honestly since like the launch of D2. I wasn't much a PvP player in year one of D1. I was more of a raid guy because I was just trying to figure out if I even liked the game.
Yeah.
but I migrated towards and pretty much magnetized myself more towards PvP in D2.
Awesome. So, like, do you like the PvP in Destiny 2 currently? What were your first thoughts on like the entry meta?
The entry meta I was a really big fan of, kind of, because I
Yeah.
started off on controller
Mm-hmm.
for about a year, and I want to say about the first year. And then I
Mm-hmm.
forced myself to do MNK after laser tag because I was like tired of actually during laser tag because I was tired of like I felt like I'm like they had fast reactions, we're dying in like 0.1 seconds, it's just
Yeah.
like you have to be there. So like I really picked up the double hand cannon meta afterwards because I started realizing wow, hand cannons are really well put together for the most part at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Um with M&K. So as far as like now, today for some reason, and everybody kept saying it was because I'm old, but like I really felt like the game was slow. Okay,
Yeah.
like I don't know what it was. Like my 150s felt like 140s, and I'm just like, dude, my movement. I don't know. Maybe it was because I was just drowsy or whatever, but it
Yeah.
felt like the slowest game ever. And I'm not a real big fan of the meta right now.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusively on non-hungers and autos just in general. I feel like autos are in a cool place, but they just don't deserve damage buffs. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay. So, what character do you run normally? Do you like what drew you to Destiny overall? Like, what drew you to Destiny? Even if you didn't think that you would like it at first, what pulled you in?
Titans. I don't
Yeah.
know. We eat crayons and we love it, but I just really like the aspect of feeling strong. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
remember when Destiny first came out and we had like the strength, the intellect and stuff. And I played a lot of like Star Wars, Old Republic and stuff. So you consider those things that would follow your traits. I didn't know that it was actually like tied to your abilities. So when I thought strength, if I punched you with the 100 strength, I should be able to, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
thought
You
strength
should
was strength and all that stuff. So
like
I'm like
lift him up
intellect or
off
like,
the ground and
yeah, I'm
into a
thinking like I'm
TV
gonna
or
have
something.
some in-game choices or something with intellect, So I really thought Destiny was gonna be like that, and no, not at all. But I definitely like I was a huge like Captain America fan, so like of course the whole Sentinel thing that was pretty cool for me too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the bubble felt it was completely funny to watch people just kind of go at your bubble with like supers that couldn't necessarily kill it, and then they pull out Thunder Crash, and then it was just like, okay, I hate it, and then they buffed it again, and it's like, okay, there's a little bit of survivability. We got our we got our ward back, and we're just like,
Right.
yes, now we can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Sentinels for sure. I'm a big suppressor fan. Anybody knows me, like I probably have some of the best suppressors you've seen ever.
What is the art of having a great suppressor?
I came from Halo.
Okay.
So Halo was really big on grenades too, as well. Of course, your gun skill mattered, but when it came to like somebody chasing you, you throwing a grenade off the wall, and then they're just following up behind you, and then you just run into a grenade, and or somebody's gonna come, and so you preemptively throw the grenade in their face, one shot them. You know what I mean? So like they're coming around the corner, and you just boom, or just knowing how to throw grenades off walls and stuff like that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff really does tie a lot with suppressors, and of course understanding the blast radius. It just made a big impression on me, especially with not really understanding mid-tree sentinel,
Okay.
because nobody really knows how volatile necessarily works. It doesn't have it just does when it does when it wants to do. Like
Mm-hmm.
we thought that void damage multiplied it would cause the explosion for the controlled demolition, but that wasn't the case. Nobody could figure it out. We've done like matches and all kinds of stuff. We just can't figure it out. But it does leave the target more of an open they can't really hide, so everybody can see them if they have volatile on them, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So how did you meet Reb?
I'm gonna guess that it's through OneActual, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of get around a little bit, so
Yeah, it was. It was.
Is that what it was? Yeah, I was gonna say like I kind of hang around a lot of different places over the course of my ability to watch Twitch, but yeah, if I was gonna guess, it was gonna be through JSaw. JSaw, Baysaw, OneActual. I mean, just sometimes you just run into people and you just vibe. You guys just get along, you know. So like that's probably part of it. You know, we just got along. We didn't hate each other. You know, that's good.
Yeah. Yep. Shout outs to OneActual, man. Much love, bro.
That's always a pleasure. That's always like an awesome experience when you're able to find that. So yeah, what was the first game that you ever played, Reb?
Sonic the Hedgehog, man. My mom and dad were so surprised. I played it at the age of 3, I think. They were so surprised that I was actually beating the game. Like I didn't know what I was doing. Sonic is such an asymmetrical game. You just got to go one direction and jump. There's nothing crazy to it, especially Sonic 1. I don't remember beating Sonic 2, but you really just run one direction and just jump. And so I had coins, I was running, I'm jumping, that's it. And so there was that one, and then I played Legend of Zelda Link to the Past.
Gotcha.
So you're talking the 16-bit consoles like Sega.
I'm 31, bro. I'm not no little kid.
Okay, me, I'm 38. What are you trying to what you mean?
I know you were like around there. I'm just saying, man. You know,
31,
I'm a boomer, man.
I'm just trying to put a date on it, dude.
I'm a boomer, man.
Did you started on 16-bit consoles then?
Yes, I started on Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Sega Master System, like Game Gear, bro. Like my mom had this stupid TV antenna thing to the Game Gear, and I never watched TV on it, so I was just like, screw this. And I played the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Game Gear. I played Shinobi. I played the X-Men game on Game Gear, and yeah, that was pretty much it.
That's awesome. That's great. So moving into a little bit like more recent news. Aura, I know you were busy this week. You were working, so you didn't get to play any Destiny, right?
I played this weekend. I actually got quite a bit done, so we'll get into that.
Okay, all right.
Not during the week, no.
Not during the week. Did Reb? Were you able to take advantage of the double drop from the Nightfall ordeals?
No, actually, I've had a lot of things going on this week. A lot of side planning. More recently, I had left OneUp, OneActual's clan, and it was nothing like, of course, in any reason like for me to be malicious towards them, because that's all love. That's my family.
Yeah,
it was 2 years with those guys, and so recently, I had considered starting my own clan, and so I've just been in the works of planning how that's gonna all work out.
Sweet.
So I've been doing that, and I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, do you have like the foundation of like what you guys would be like doing overall, or?
Yeah, we do, and I have, I have some other ideas too. I don't want it to just feel like a clan per se. I mean, of course, everybody wants a clan to feel like a family, and of course, that's definitely an Orient thing that we all want. And but I want more than that. I want more involvement, and so I'm trying to create a pathway for that to happen for everybody within it, instead of people clicking up like that typically happens in clans. They find their favorite people and go from there. So I'm gonna try to find a way to involve everybody.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's being the leader of my own clan, it is incredibly tough, like, to kind of try to break those cliques down. The best thing that I can think, there used to be a thing back in the day. It was called Destiny Clan Wars or Destiny Clan Warfare. They've since turned off the servers for all of it, but it was a really cool idea where basically you signed up your clan through the BNet page onto their servers, and they came up with different different modifiers. Some of them were community driven, some of them were created based on what was on the Nightfall that week, or if it was Iron Banner. It just depended on what was going on that week. And you could get individual points, but all of that was cumulative towards your clan, and there was leaderboards. And that was a really cool thing that I don't think they're doing it anymore, because it was pretty, I think it was pretty expensive to keep the site running. But it's a really cool idea, and it's something that like went all the way back to like when I was in Dad's Destiny. I think it was just called Destiny Clan War, and then Destiny Clan Warfare started around the start of Destiny 2. And right now, there's not anything really to fill that gap. So it was that was at least something to kind of get people invested and aimed at a goal. But it is tough, especially with a long season like we have right now, trying to keep people active. I don't know. Mainly, I've been helping people with raids and everything. Do you guys like do raids and stuff, or?
Yeah, we do raids. More so like I said, it's like it's fairly new. So like the only people that I've been able to pick up are like PvP heads, and they're one of them's like an admin for Face It, and like other ones are just like they can be hybrid, but they would prefer to like I could do it too. Like don't get me wrong, like I do play a lot of PvP because I feel like PvP, in my opinion, if you're good at it, and it just always feels like a different experience, like granted you'll get your general like melee whiffs and teleporting and bullet not hitting and all this and that and the third, and that's that. But like you go into like a Nightfall, there might be like a random mechanic that doesn't work out, and you just die, and it's a super funny situation. But overall, like it's still the same flow. Like imagine doing like Hollowed Lair 100 times, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's just so demoralizing, but but just overall, like the situation is a lot of people that I know, they're good with being hybrids, but they would just prefer that.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and that is a great core experience in PvP. Like anybody can be a boss, basically, right? Based on skill.
Basically, yeah, for sure.
I don't know how many Master Nightfalls I ran on Thursday, but in about like 4.5 hours, I want to say I had 7 golf balls, and and a full amount of glow sticks. Even then some. I think I have 19 in my Postmaster right now. I'm just like gearing up this week, dude. Like I think I have the first 10 levels of whatever the next season pass will be based on experience and bounties, and I'm starting to stock up on materials now, just getting prepared for November 10th, so I can find a place somewhere in between of now and when Beyond Light goes, to just relax, not have to worry about anything, and try and feel like I'm prepared going in for a possible like first day raid. Is that like something any of you, like either of you guys, are interested in?
Day ones, yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I've done like every day one raid in Destiny 2. I'm pretty sure I went in, except for Last Wish. I don't think I went in Last Wish day one, but I think on the rest of them. It's fun. I spent the couple of hours today farming the Grandmaster. We found it to be more rewarding than like the 1080 Nightfall with the double rewards and the guaranteed golf balls and stuff. So like I'm pretty set for that stuff. I don't really masterwork a lot of stuff anyway. So I think I have like 20 golf balls, which is a pretty good amount for anything I might want to change up as we head into the new season. I don't know what to expect, but it was just kind of fun. I actually enjoyed this Grandmaster. It really isn't all that crazy difficult. It was fairly fun, manageable. We could do it. We were averaging like maybe 15 minutes or so per run. So, and then I got a trials card in this weekend and got a golf ball from that, going flawless with Nathan Rikiri. So that was fun. So I got a little bit of gaming in the past 2 days in regards to Destiny and stuff. So yeah, the double loot is really great. It's an awesome incentive to jump in and put some effort in, because you might be missing a decent exotic, and all of the rolls I got were good rolls, not just weren't on the exotics I wanted. So and then I remembered, and I was taught that you could change the element on gear, so I don't have to pound the earth for a set of transversives. I can just get a set of transversives and convert it. So that's also a plus. I completely forgot that was a feature. Honestly, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I think they changed that shortly after Gear 2.0. think. No. Was that a feature? I don't know. Anyways. So what was the highest piece of gear that you got?
69 worm husk.
Nice.
Yeah, something dropped this out. It was Helmsane 14 is 69 with nothing on it.
Nice.
So yeah, Helmsane 14 might be useful coming into the next season.
Mm-hmm.
On sight unseen, not knowing what's going on. I haven't, like, it's so funny how in Destiny 1, Helmsane 14 was like, if you were running a Nightfall, that was the exotic you put on your Titan. That was the only exotic you ran on your Titan. And it didn't really get all that much play the way that Sentinel evolved moving into Destiny 2. I mean, how often were you actually going to pop a bubble, and how aggressive were you in your ability to get to an area where you could pop it on? Like, I go back to the Sepkus Prime where you have to fight the 3 waves.
Right.
And you would just pop a bubble on the doorway so that whatever came out of that door, like, just instantly stopped, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like that's the play anymore in regards to Bubble Titan.
Yeah. I feel like I've been using it a lot more. If I use Bubble Titan at all, it's like in the Prophecy dungeon, and it's usually as just a either as a panic super in case snipers are shooting in at me on the cube, or just to lay over the boss and use that as a buff. It's not really for anything protection wise outside of the panic super. Yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting week. I can't remember like the highest piece of gear that I got, but it felt like even with Masters, it felt like stuff was dropping at a fairly decent rate. With that, I mean, this week's kind of like been a slow one, right? There's
just a lot of things on checklists that I feel like I'm trying to get done. You know, I'm still missing a few pieces of Gambit Prime Armor. Not that I'm going to use it, but I just want to have the collections caught up. I'm still missing some raid triumphs and some other miscellaneous destination things. Like, I think on the EDZ, one of the triumphs for the EDZ is getting Thorn kills in Gambit, which is just a joy. But so, like, there's just other odds and ends and things that I care about as a somewhat completionist that I'm trying to wrap up. I don't think that has a lot of value for other players. Most players have probably already done a good healthy chunk of that, but I got lazy. I spent the entire season of the Drifter in Crucible. I didn't, doing nothing else. So there's some things that I want to check off my list before it's all completely taken from us. And we still got like another, month and a couple of days. So there's still time to get caught up on some of that stuff. But yeah, but that's really all that I've found in terms of motivation.
What about you, Ken?
Well, when it comes to like the aspects of the game, like I've honestly, I don't know why, but I'm not farming for anything particular. It's weird to say. It's just the way that I feel, like, just based upon the type of I guess things that I play. Like, I see people getting all these like God roll this and God roll that as far as like armor pieces and things like that, and stats and things like that. Like, they have these builds, and that's cool and all, but like if you suck, like those builds mean nothing, right? So like I feel like with my armor sets that I have now, of course I can get better rolls, of course, but what I have like standardly built, they're good enough for me. I don't necessarily want to see. The only thing I really want to get is a dang good dyer. I'm so tired of having a dye. I have a good one, and I'll get a decent one, and then I'll get a better one, and then I'll just get a decent one, and it's just like I just keep transitioning, trying to figure out which one I actually like. So I like dismantle kings. I accidentally dismantled one when I forgot what covered my screen. It was just something stupid, and it covered my screen. I was dismantling something, and it just covered it, and I was like, crap, and I couldn't get to go, and it dismantled my 7K kill mountaintop that I had from PvE. So I was kind of pissed off about that. Because I was like,
Chiron in the middle?
Yeah, dude. Something popped up, man. I couldn't figure it out. I was just like, no. And I remember one time I had a god roll freaking sword, a guillotine, right? And
Mm-hmm.
my chat was like, "Hey, that's a god ward." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I'm just talking to chat, somebody like hosts me, and I'm like not looking, and I dismantled the god roll. Like, okay, didn't need to do
Upset.
that. Like, I do that. I do that a lot, and I complain about it because everybody's been asking me for over a year to
Mm-hmm.
do some stinking tourneys, and 1v1s. I get challenged for 1v1s all the time. And I refuse. The reason why I refuse is because we can have the same gun skill,
Mm-hmm.
decent connection that connects to each other once, we're all right. But we have different gun stats. You might have like 3 meters more than I do. We'll be at the
Mm-hmm.
same range, and I'm hitting for 58s and you're hitting for 68s, and it's just not a fair situation for me to even be in. So what's the
Yeah.
point of me trying to consider these competitive tournaments and things like that? And I have to consider my guns being okay. I got doo-doo gun stats, and I feel like I'm better than you, but I just know that I'm not hitting for the same damage. And I don't, and I that's the one thing that I've always considered while playing this game.
Yeah. I feel you when it comes to deleting things. As Frankie M3 speaks about in the chat, there is a lock feature, and I have failed to do that on a numerous amount of items, including I think on my warlock I got a pinnacle drop and it was finally 1060. It was in the one slot that I needed it. It was finally 1060, and I was just going through and I was like, oh, look at this stats on this, not seeing the giant 1060 number at the top, and just completely deleted it during
dude for like a week or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I had I needed to get a 1060 for my energy slot. I kept forgetting. Like when I see a grenade launcher, I'm like, oh, instant delete. I kept getting 1060 grenade launchers and I kept deleting them, not realizing I really needed that to infuse. And so I like finally got 1060 this week because I just settled down, got a pulse to remind me, slow down. But yeah, I was just like, okay.
It's I feel like everybody's done that at least once, because if especially with having the golf balls and the glow sticks now in inventory, they're the first things that get purged when your postmaster is full.
Right.
So now I have to be like on top of everything that I delete. And not only that, but like every time you turn in an Umbral Engram, you get the gear and you get a shader of some kind.
Yeah.
Which fills your shaders up. So then your shaders end up in the postmaster. So like now we're doing double duty. And like over the course of farming the Nightfalls this weekend, and I was running with Polar Bear and Sinister Hobbies, like I had to stop combat to delete the blues that were on the ground. And every section of the run, there would be at least one blue that would drop. Yeah. So like the first area that you would clear with the blights, that would drop a blue. You'd get through the door at the end and you'd be clearing out the little yellow bar, whatever, the thrall, that would drop a blue. You get through that and you're outside where the two unstoppable spawn, a blue drops in there. And then the chest opens and you've got double loot, and you're putting the boon of the Vanguard up so we can try and farm even more. And now we're getting even more crap. And so like there's just 100 different ways for your inventory to fill up along the way. So of course you're just, as a reaction, you're just going to be deleting as much as you possibly can, not looking. And so by unfortunate reality, I'm deleting 1058, 1059 and 1060 things, not realizing, maybe I'm not on my main character. My hunter's not 1060 yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm deleting 1059 because I'm thinking I'm on my warlock, which is 1060. I'm like, I don't need this at 1059, whatever. So I'm setting myself back even further, but who knows how much power level is really gonna matter for the first mission. Like the very first mission we get, they're probably gonna drop something that's gonna bump your power level up. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm wondering how many infusion, whatever the hell they're called, is what I should really be hanging on to.
Enhancement cores.
Is that what I would get confused between the enhancement core and the masterwork thing.
Yeah, there's enhancement.
No,
yeah,
I have
enhancement cores.
I have 1,000, if not more than that, enhancement cores. I'm talking about the thing you buy from the gunsmith to actually infuse. Here
are you talking about the upgrade modules?
Yeah.
I think I have 20 right now. I think I have 196 enhancement cores. I need to get on that, and a few other things. I
never masterwork, so I always and I if you play this game for a half hour, you're deleting probably 30, 40 items.
Yeah.
So
it's sad that they just can't Like we don't need blues anymore, so like that stuff
Right.
should not automatically go to Postmaster for full. And it's because it's forcing us to be pretty much just say, hey, like what can we do? Like I literally, if I'm full and I'm trying to fill up in stock on Engrams and it's just shoving stuff out immediately, like I don't know how many dropped in that mission, and it just pops up in the Postmaster. Oh my god, I missed this blue. Wow, yeah, dude. Like when you hit a certain level, remember when you hit the first time we got legendary items in D1, like everything that dropped basically was legendary, you know? Like
Yeah.
it just was constant. And now it's like we got rare, we get way more rare than we get legendary, and like that shouldn't be a thing anymore. I really just felt like it was just unnecessary to add into the game. And then legendaries were dropping exotics and stuff, and like why don't we have the stupid multi bulk like delete button yet? Like
Yeah.
how hard is it to add that feature for a multi-select? Like we we hate it here.
Yeah.
Did we have collections in D1?
No. Well, we did kind of. We had
kind of.
We had them in the form of kiosks that they put around the tower.
Yeah.
They weren't in a menu form.
I'm just wondering if blues don't auto dismantle because of the collection system. Like, would it count in your collections if it auto dismantled into weapon parts and Glimmer? There's adventures from the vanilla Destiny 2 storyline that have specific blue whatever that only drop from doing it, which was a strategic advantage at the time because you would have a guaranteed way to increase your power level to whatever you were going into next. And so like that's part of it. And then the only blue piece of armor that I have any value in is the War Mantis on a hunter, because it's the only piece of armor that can drop mobility. What is it? Mobility, intellect, strength. Is that? I don't know. I get them all mixed up. But in any event, it's the only one that'll roll like that, where the only 3 of those have stats distributed. So like it's really effective for 100 and whatever your other build is. Like I've got some god roll War Mantises that are blue. Like that's something that I would be trading off, and it's not going to benefit me in Iron Banner because you can't infuse it. It's not going to benefit me in Trials. But for everyday sixes or everyday comp, it's a huge advantage having a stat distribution like that, knowing how to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because like Reb said, you can have all the advantages in the world. If you don't know how to execute on top of it, it's not going to be ultimately that much of an advantage. It's still an advantage, but not a great one.
I will say, so I ran into a bit of my own storage issue this past week. So I use Dim for just about everything, and usually I have farming mode on. So while I was farming the Nightfalls, I realized that I had 497 out of 500 in my vault full, and that's just from like I think maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks of having it on whenever I played. And I went in to delete all of my delete all the blues, and I was like, if I have over 100 blues in here, I'm gonna flip my lid, and I had 118 in there. Jeez. That I just straight up deleted. That didn't even make it to the Postmaster. It just went straight into the vault. And yeah, that, like, thanks for the materials, but man, I wish there was a way to auto dismantle. That is one of the biggest features I would like. What you say makes kind of sense, Aura, that they don't auto dismantle because of the collections on your character.
Assuming that it wouldn't assimilate itself as part of your collection should you earn something you didn't already have.
Right.
You know, if maybe there's some kind of codex in there that says, oh, it is the whatever grenade launcher. You don't have it, so now it counts in your collections kind of thing.
I mean, there would have to be some sort of, like, I would think that there would have to be some sort of code language that's like, do you have it? Yes. Do you not have it? No. And if you have it, yes, then it auto dismantles, right?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, that would be some kind of understanding as to how the back end works, and I have no idea.
Yeah. Do you guys? So how do you feel about the space that you have, like, in your vault right now? Because that's another conversation that's been kind of going around.
458 out of 500. Now, to make sure that I wasn't filling my Postmaster, I emptied my character that I was playing on of everything but what I was using. So a good amount of that's going to come back out, you know, although I really only used the same like 6 things. So,
what about you, Reb?
My Postmaster and my vault is messy. I have stuff, man. I had to clear it out recently, maybe a couple months ago. I had stuff from year 1 hanging in there, like day 1, year 1 alpha stuff. I swear, I think I seen a Shinjin Sia there too, but like, I feel like, you know, the space that we get, like I don't necessarily fill it up, so I guess I don't have issues. The only thing I have issues with is my Postmaster and stuff. Like you know, you get a lot of umbrals and stuff right now, especially as much quick play and stuff I do when I'm just hanging out with my friends. I don't realize that I have a full like rack of umbrals just chilling, and then I almost forgot about it again. My friends were like, "Hey, let's go play some trials." I had an exotic hanging out in my in my Postmaster. And granted, if I kept playing trials and then just getting tokens and stuff, I probably would have dismantled it, knowing me. And then I would have been pissed.
Man,
so it's just remembering stuff, man. I think with the whole scenario, like instead of the auto delete, we should just have an option. You know what I mean? Like if they feel like that, if it's gonna cause that much issue, just give us a filter option. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because some people can, if they consider that they want to utilize it, then yeah, that's fine. But just give us a general filter option. That'd be a lot of easier method to the madness.
Yeah, like I don't need bows. Or
well, no about that. You're gonna accept those.
Okay.
don't ever disrespect the bow ever again.
Thank you so much.
I'm just kidding.
Usually I'm the one saying that bows need to be around. So, man. Freaking love
good
bows.
times.
I did find, so I've also been doing, just for like fun and whimsy, I've been doing random loadout private matches with folks from my community, and I found the Requiem S12 sidearm. It's a blue sidearm from Forsaken, and I really like it. It reminds me a little bit of Trespasser.
Oh wow,
it's pretty fun. So if you have one of those drop, just check it out. I highly recommend it. Anyways, so let's get into the news of the week. There wasn't much overall outside of the double loot event. We have, if you look at this week at Bungie that came out on Thursday, posting that in there, we have kind of exciting news when it comes to ghosts. It looks like they started out by saying customizable ghosts in that section. A guardian's ghost is their most trusted ally and is tasked with keeping them in the fight. Your ghost isn't just in charge of bringing you back from the brink. It also comes with some perks and a wide range of cool looks to choose from. We have some changes planned for your floaty friends and asked designer Mina Jasinski, sorry if I butchered that name, to tell us about what her team is doing to improve how you customize your ghosts. It looks like ghost shells will now have energy levels and access to mods with various energy costs instead of being preloaded with specific perks. That treatment has been applied to ghosts outside of the generalist shell, so you can use your favorite ghost shells regardless of tier. A selection of mods will be available on ghost shells by default, while the remaining ones will be obtainable via various gameplay sources. Information on where to find those mods can be learned from collections. Ghost mods will be obtained from gameplay reward loops and will not be purchasable from Eververse. And ghosts will have 4 mod slots. 3 are unlocked by default, and the 4th is unlocked by masterworking the ghost shell. How do you guys feel about these changes so far?
I like them. I think they're pretty cool. You know, like, well, you know, looking at the screenshot and how it talks about like one of the ghost shells having the blinding light. We can increase XP gains. That's definitely going to be really pog when it comes to the new DLC, because my assumption is, you know, of course, when we hit XP gains, of course, that ties to our ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Getting through the season pass is a little bit faster if you're not buying the season pass and things like that. And then also the other one talking about defeating bosses in Vanguard playlist strikes or Nightfalls has a chance to award an enhancement prism, and that's pretty cool. That's actually really cool because, of course, we all need those in the golf balls in order to masterwork our armor. So that's a really cool feature, allowing us to really experience, you know, less of a grind, I guess, but at the same time, just more customization. I feel like Bungie is going in the direction of letting the player decide more, and I really like that because it doesn't necessarily limit us to the aspect of, because when you play like if we're gonna look at the elements of an MMORPG or something like that, they're really customizable as far as your builds, your clans, like everything's in the player's hands. The only thing that's not in the player's hands, of course, cheating, but on those games because you get banned, unlike this game. Anyways, yeah. So I really like that freedom. Like we really haven't had this much freedom in Destiny, and at least since the launch of Destiny 2. Like we really didn't have much. We had to wait for the roles to come through and all those different things. You know what I mean? So now that we're migrating more back to old content and incorporating new content, we might as well take away the 2 and just go back to being Destiny. Destiny upgraded version or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I only had a chance to breeze through it, so I'm not 100% familiar with it, but is this a way for them to put the seasonal mods in the system without it being tied to armor, or are we going to get a set of perks for ghosts that are exclusive, that are new, outside of what we've currently got, where it's like your material and your chest seeker for whether it's globally or universally or planetary, your guiding light perks, your pulling out your sparrow faster, I think is tied to ghosts too. So like, are we going to see a broader, more what's the word for utilitarian? Yeah. Like, is that what we're going to get out of it? Or is this going to be like, I'm going to be able to add I'm going to get 2, whatever it's called from Titan instead of 1,
right?
The material. So I think it's good. I like Reb said, I think any kind of customizable features you can put in the player's hands to dictate their advantages specific to themselves is overall a good thing. I'm just kind of looking for a bit more information. I want to see it take a bigger shape than, like, I mean, like, who's more powerful in the Destiny universe, the Guardian or the Ghost?
Right.
Who do you think has more power? And our Ghost has really just been, what has it been doing? It's going to scan this computer while you defend it.
Yeah,
like
it's a garage door.
So like, right. So can we get some more use out of it? Can these things start to become the powerful, I'm not going to say being, but like, can they start to become the powerful piece of light that we assume, like they're what, descendants of the Traveler? They're parts of the Traveler?
Yeah,
like
they were issued from the Traveler, basically, after it became wounded, I believe.
So let's see a little bit more coming out of it then, and like, I don't know. I guess Bungie's hands are tied because at one point they can't make it so overblown that like I guess you wouldn't be substituting armor mods for it, but like, I don't know. I could have sworn I saw tweets that said like, oh, I can put a whatever mod. I can create one of those little orbs in the ground that you shoot and do crazy damage.
Yeah.
But that might have just been someone who wasn't understanding the TWAB itself.
Yeah, I think that's the case because they in the TWAB they go to say, as mentioned above, Ghosts will now have access to a total of 4 mod slots, each with their own unique mod selection. There will be an experience mod slot, a tracking mod slot, an economic slot, and an activity slot. So those 4, you unlock all 4 by masterworking it. And I would guess that the activity mod slot would probably be the 4th one. The last of which is unlocked when the Ghost is masterworked at 10 energy. Answered my own question. You'll be able to mix and match mods from these categories however you like, with respect to energy limits. Mod slots each have a selection of mods that can be combined to fit your play style. For example, a Crucible-focused player who wants to grind out materials and earn XP towards their seasonal rewards track might choose Guiding Light, Meager Glimmer Booster, and Lesser Core Harvest for Crucible. There are a variety of combinations that can be set up on different ghosts to suit whatever goals you might be chasing at that time. It also looks like there will be exotic perk combinations that were available previously, such as Guiding Light and Treasure Hunter, along with a plethora of new combinations. In the top image that they show there, when they're looking at an experience ghost mod for Blinding Light, it looks like there's 6 tiers of it, and with the highest tier being costing 6 energy on the 10 ghost, right? So if you want a 12% increase in XP gains, you have to invest 6 energy into it. I don't think you're going to see those seasonal slots like the Warmind cell or anything like that. I mean, that would be crazy if they did, but I don't think we're going to see that kind of use out of it. I think it's more going to be like, what do you want to, like, how do you want to tune this ghost for your activity versus, you know, trying to mix and match or trying to find a ghost in your collection that has double nessus or something.
I'll say this about it, because one of the other things that you asked me, like what I've been doing and what I care about, and whatever the name of the engram is you get by ranking up, and they change the name of it like every season. It was Luminous Engram at one point. It was whatever it's called. The one you get from ranking up every 5 levels after you hit 100, I think. Every 5 you get one of them.
Yeah, the Eververse one.
Yeah, like you can get weapon ornaments from that. And so like part of the thing that I've been trying to do is earn more of those so I could turn in and get more of those ornaments, because I don't know how long that's going to last, but I don't have a lot of the ornaments. And so like the XP thing would actually matter quite a bit if they're going to keep that system in place to where every 5 levels you're going to get one of those engrams to turn in. That I don't see a lot of people using anything outside of that 6 times XP. Like, do you guys really hurt for Glimmer? Like a Glimmer?
Not really.
Finding part, like we have rainmakers for that, like probably 1 billion of them, in our inventory.
You also have Spider for that too, just like yeah.
Well, yeah. So we'll see how much use a lot of them get. I don't think it's bad, but it kind of, again, they're like, here's some resources being poured into something, and we all really enjoy ghost shells. I was looking at the one ghost shell that kind of looks like Spider's like henchman. It has the spikes on the back of it.
Right.
It's like really cool, but the perks aren't any good, so I can't use it. But like, I'll be able to use that shell, and it's going to be pretty neat. But outside of that, like, how often do I really look at my shell and care about? Like, Guiding Light's the only thing that I'm looking for in a ghost shell at this point.
I think my shell is basically just for looks right now. But if I could customize it, I would. Does that make sense? Like
of course, because it's another box to check. It's another
it's another thing that you can just put into. I don't know. I feel like it would be useful. The enhancement prism thing sounds like it is that sounds right up my alley when it comes to that. But yeah, anything that adds a little bit more customization to the game is is something that I look forward to. When it comes to I'm glad that they're doing this for Ghosts. I kind of want to know what else they're going to be, what other changes they're going to be slipping in.
It would only make sense to do it for Sparrows too.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do it for Ghost Shells, not Sparrows, right? And maybe even add some form of a mod to a ship.
Man, they're probably to me, this feels like something that might have been part of a larger TWAB or something down the line. Like, hey, here's these next 3 changes that we're going to be doing. But because the season has kind of like been stretched out as it is, maybe they're like taking that information that's coming in Beyond Light and being like, okay, so this week we're going to talk about Ghost 2.0. Maybe next week we're going to talk about Sparrow 2.0. And then the week after that, we talk about transmog, because that's going to be a huge topic.
Transmog needs to be talked about like
immediately.
You don't want to give the player base like 2 weeks to figure out how to acquire and keep safe everything that's going to, like, if they're going to keep this timeline going, then they need to figure out a way to make collections be your transmog. The more time they take to make this announcement, the less time the player base has to get together to earn what could be you know, their cosmetic guardian moving forward. And like, how much longer are they going to take with this?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
People have a hard enough time getting together to play as it is.
Mm-hmm. Especially now, like how far we are in the season. We have 51 days left in the season as of the day that we're recording this. With how long has this been? I forget how long the season's been. The season has felt like forever in some regards, but I've definitely seen a decline in like the amount of people who are like, hey, I'm down to run this raid or anything. You know, it just
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of, you know, I prior to me leaving OneUp, because I've kind of felt like, I guess to really say why I did was every time that I was playing with somebody, like helping a streamer out or just, you know, and I'd be off stream. I do a lot of off stream gaming just to help other streamers that have viewers and stuff. And I don't like to do the whole multi thing on the sneak. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that stuff's just really scummy. But a lot of times people would see me and they'd be like, "Oh, Rebukenn's good. He's in One Actuals clan." And I felt like, you know, I've been streaming for 3 years and I didn't want to. And you know, OneUp is definitely like, it's a family. That's the whole core value, is just a bunch of friends coming together and playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I've, you know, as a streamer, of course, you know, we don't just stream to just stream. We want to grow. We don't want to be under anybody's thumb. And that's how I felt like I was being identified. I wouldn't be identified just solely as me being good. I would always be tied to, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, like I was, you know, going out and doing things on my own. And when Actual told me, he was just like, you know, even when I was leaving, he's like, you know, I don't doubt you for wanting to. There's no hurt, you know, no hurt, no hate. He said this game, to him, he just cannot play it anymore. It's just ran out of content, and he does not feel like he wants to play it anymore. So he's like been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 and stuff. He streams it. Yeah, he streams it and stuff, but a lot of times he's just off stream, you know, after work, if it's super late and he's with his wife and they're playing with some friends.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I don't blame anybody to, you know, feel that way, because that's, you know, it's hard. That's why I haven't done the Nightfalls, because it's like all my friends are just like, nah, bro. They're either with somebody or they're just like, nah, bro, I don't feel like it, or you know what I mean? Instead of like the excitement.
You want to be known as Rebuken, not OneUp Rebuken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I want to be like, when people see me, I want them to identify me as me instead of tying me with that, you know, like I said, all love to Jay, like, but I felt overshadowed, you know what I mean? By his success. And so, and then at the same time, the only people that I was playing was me and my other clanmate, B-Cube, who also recently left too. We felt the same way. We're like, you know, we're going out there, we're OneUp, like, but we're the only ones that are OneUp. And it's like, at this point, you know, I wouldn't say we're boosting the reputation, but we're holding it and we're representing. But it just, they weren't there with us, you know what I mean? So we felt like kind of like separated and alone, because nobody wants to play this game anymore. And I don't knock them for it. We got guys that are working all the time. We got guys that play Terra, like top 3 in the world for Terra, like some DPS stuff, and like, you know, but it just felt like we just kind of split up. And I didn't know if like the DLC was going to bring us back together, but a lot of them kind of had their mindset on the other games, like one of them pushing for top rank in Valorant and other things like that. So
kind of felt like the band breaking up.
Yeah, it kind of felt, it did, you know, like I said, 2 years in, and I'm just like, you know, it just got to a dry point with us, and I'm just like, you know, I could stick this out, or I could continue to grow. My Twitter pre-COVID was 130 followers, and now I'm at like 580. And I've been doing a lot of networking. I've been,
growth.
you know, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I've been growing a lot, and I didn't want to, like, and there's so many things that I wanted to do with OneUp too, like with, like, you know, getting us out there and doing things, but I just didn't, you know, it's not reciprocated because nobody feels like that in the clan right now. And so it's just like, I don't want to like stunt myself as a content creator. And you know, it was hard. I literally, when I told him that, like, I was leaving, and as to why, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was at work crying, like legit crying at work. My
Yeah,
boss
dude.
had to check on me because, like, you know, I felt like a part of me, you know what I mean? Like, I've been
Mhm.
OneUp for 2 years, and a part of me felt like I was letting something go, but I understood. They understand why, and I understand why. And every time I see them, or it's all love, they can always invite me. And you know what I mean? Like, I got their
Mhm.
numbers. It's all love, but like a part of me was just like, man, I'm actually not gonna be
In this
Rebuken and
anymore.
OneUp anymore. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
You're gonna be Rebuken. What's the name of your new clan?
It's Masenko, and that's
Okay.
like, it's Gohan's first special move. I'm a huge Gohan and Vegeta fan
Yeah.
on Dragon Ball Z. Except for adult Gohan, he sucks. But yeah. So a lot of times, when I was thinking about a clan, I was thinking about like clothing brands. I was thinking about websites, like just
Mhm.
to kind of like, you know, get to know the players. No servicing, because of
Mhm.
course you don't want to misconstrue that. I was thinking about internal giveaways, like speed run contests within the clan. I was thinking about all these things, and I said to myself, I was like, if I want to accomplish these things, I have to set forth and do it. So that's pretty much what we're doing. Like, the official announcement will be in 2 weeks. I guess I kind of spoiled it here, but
Yeah.
um the
Yeah.
official
Planet
like, we already
Destiny
got the
exclusive.
logos. We're already working on the clothing logos
Mhm.
and stuff like that. We got people. I got connections, and that's the main thing that I wanted to do with this clan. Is I want to put my connections with everybody here. Like, that is a part of it. We'll have internal, we'll have external stuff. We'll host tourneys. We got a lot of stuff like in the works.
That's
So
cool.
I'm really excited.
Heck yeah, man. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just about like finding community, and 2 years is a really long time to be invested in something. So, and it's always tough when you go out on your own, but there's you know, there's the risk reward aspect of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure I'm sure it'll be great. Whatever you do, it'll be great. Just make it great.
Yep.
So, other than that, really with the ghost shells, that's the big news of the week. Next week they will also have a tribute going live in game to honor one of the dear friends at Vicarious Visions who passed away last year, Matt Helsum. The weekly reset will include a director message that will send you to Mars for a short quest to honor Mr. Helsum. He worked closely with the teams at both Bungie and VV on various projects during our partnership, and we wanted to memorialize his contributions in the Destiny universe. We wish all of his family, friends, and everyone he impacted during his life the very best. Thank you, everyone in the community who joins us in remembering this one soul. That's a really cool thing. There have been times in games where they haven't, or where a company or a publisher hasn't. I'm trying to think of the game. It's the Lord of the Rings game, the sequel. What was the name of that one? Anybody? It was
You're asking the wrong guy.
I'm asking the wrong guys.
Yeah,
It was the Lord of the Ring
guy.
games where like you're half like in shadow and half in the world of the living.
The middle.
Yeah, middle.
Come on.
No,
middle
it's not
something.
Two Towers.
Middle Wars.
Middle Earth. Are you talking about Middle Earth?
It's something. I don't know. It's something. I have no idea.
There's I get this Shadow reference of Mordor. Right. Like it's
everybody
real bad
says
for everybody.
Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor. Too.
Yeah,
right.
well, there's another version though. There's like a complete version of something. I don't remember.
Right. Shadow of Mordor is the one that they're talking about. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Gray Fox.
Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, and then there's like there's another one that's a complete version. Somebody else. But anyways, yes.
But so in that that company had done a memorial for somebody, but they charged money for it. And Shadow of Nerds, Aura. But their
nemesis system was amazing.
Yeah, it is a really cool nemesis system. However, like when they put a memorial to a dev who passed in the game, they charged money for it, and it wasn't clear whether that money was going toward the family or if it was going to the publisher at the time. And with something like that, I feel like Bungie is handling it the right way and giving it as a free update, just saying, hey, like this is somebody who worked on the game. This is somebody that meant something to us. Here's some a bit of content about them. I think that says a lot about them as a company, and especially their relationship with Vicarious Visions, even though, you know, they're still part of Activision and they just had like a great run at the new Tony Hawk game. What do you guys think of that move for the memorial?
I love it. I don't know how you can not love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just another one of the, like, you can say what you want about the game, but I don't think you can say what you want about the people who make it.
Right.
They're good humans. Like, from the foundational level, every single one of them that we've ever seen anything from has always been good, especially in a time where holy hell is the world hostile. They continue to push and show where their heart lies. And so I love it. And it's not like Bungie can do no wrong in my eyes, but from a human being standpoint, like, everything they do seems to be the right call, and something that I think that if I ran a business, I would be doing the same thing. I would want the same thing to be displayed, the same values.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like this is just, I don't want to downplay it, but to me, this is Bungie being Bungie. Like, this is just what they do, you know? That's not to make it mean that it's like any less impactful or that I expected it, but like, I am not surprised by this. And I did find it moving when they announced it, but I also kind of like, this is just what they do.
Yeah,
right.
They're definitely known for, you know, breaking the barrier as far as being a company that cares around certain scenarios in the world. You know what I mean? I feel like everything, like it's, you know, if I think about like other companies, I start to think like, you remember like when we had that situation in 2012 or whatever, in that stupid coding situation, and come like we're donating all this money towards this campaign, and come to find out there's got like really scummy and scammy, and you know, there's situations where, you know, you think about that just comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, wow, let's go ahead and follow this situation that's happening at hand, and just get slapped in the face. Whereas I feel like Bungie has never ever once, and you know, I feel like they truly care about the player base. I've been playing I've been with Bungie since Halo, man, and I remember there was a time in Halo 3 where melees were so stupid. Okay, like they had a really bad melee system where if I hit you, you hit me, and we hit twice, it would just win based upon connection. And it got really bad with people saying that they really hated that. So then they made the trade, which happens now, of course, standardly in Destiny. And they kept that mechanic. Granted, it was goofy because when you would hit them and you guys would just like ping pong off each other and just fly away, it was super funny looking. But it was the first time following that you know, that scenario. Creating the first MLG tournament in the history of MLG for the most part. $1 million tournament for Halo 3, and final boss winning it. You know, the proceedings that they had, of course, went towards the community. They involved a lot of times they involved their community in their tournaments, as far as like the fundings and the things like that, and giving back like at their events. You know what I mean? Like they had like a lot of free things at kiosks and stuff, and they've always considered like they were always so grateful, you know. And I really feel like they're so grateful for us and towards us that they do their best in the timely manners that they can. Granted, COVID has impacted them quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, me being out in Washington myself, I completely understand. And the driving sucks out in that area because I've worked at Nintendo and I was in that area too. So, you know, just for them to be able to get out and go and just be so motivated to give back as much as they have, it's just phenomenal. I've never seen any company that has raised so much money for children's hospitals or anything. Like
and
them.
just this past summer too, like when the Black Lives Matter, like when the protests were going on, they were right up front and they were like, hey, we support this and this is how you can support it too, in game. And like they
no company made us thinking nothing. They did the silent treatment and stuff, like, or the silent thing, like, you know what I mean? Like they did all
like
that,
a blanket
and
PR
which was
statement.
fine. I'm sorry.
Or just like a blanket PR statement.
Yeah, those were like whatever. But I'm saying like the people that were like, they were doing they were silent. They did the, moment of silence for how long he was like, had the knee on his neck and things of those manners. And that's cool. Like those are respectful mannerisms. But like nobody really did anything as far as start a campaign as far as what we'll remember for the rest of our Destiny careers, our gaming careers. Nothing. Like you can't go in COD and get a Black Lives Matter covered character or something like that, like Destiny literally made an emblem, and on top of that there was I had it as my 4K screensaver for a long time too. And it's so cool, like the emblem itself, like if you zoom in on it you can still see the Black Lives Matter under the fist, although you can't really see it in the game. But it's just so cool, like they used their own emblem and changed the color. You know what I mean? And just went that route. I just thought that was so awesome.
Yeah. They always they tend to punch up rather than punch down.
For sure.
When it comes to the causes that they take up, and it's mighty honorable of them. And like this move it just solidifies my love for the people that make up that company. Thank you, Bungie, for being the folks that you are. The last thing that I see here is that Destiny 2 will be going under for hotfix 2.9.2.1 next Tuesday, September 22nd. It was next Tuesday, September. D2 will become available on Xbox Game Pass at 8 a.m. PDT. However, players won't be able to access Forsaken or Shadowkeep until 10 a.m. PDT when hotfix 2.9.21 goes live. That's a huge thing. That's going to definitely boost the numbers on the Xbox side of the community. I haven't played over there in a long time. Has anybody here? I know, Aura, you moved over to PC and you're just done with it, right?
What's that? Done with what? Console?
You're done with the Xbox side of life.
Not necessarily. My wife being a doctor, with COVID being what it is, we have some stuff in place that if anybody has to quarantine anywhere in our house, that we have resources available to us to help pass the time. So both my Xbox and my PlayStation are in our master bedroom in case I come down with this thing and I have to stay in the master bedroom for 14 days or whatever, that I have something to do while I'm up there. So I'm not done with console. I just have to take these precautions, just the way our life is right now. So no, I wouldn't say that I am, but I also haven't, other than updating them, I haven't really done much with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the numbers for the community are on that side. Do you, Reb, do you play solely on PC now?
Yeah, mainly. I do have a PS4 in front of me. Of course I go back for my RPGs. I'm a huge RPG head, like especially when it comes to the Final Fantasy series. Of course, when I watched the PS5 revealing and the games that were coming with it, and Final Fantasy 16 remind me of some Devil May Cry. Just because it's Final Fantasy, I'm sure the storyline's going to be phenomenal with the twist of Devil May Cry. And I was like, okay, I'll probably go back. But then it said available on PC. And I was like, okay, well, we're just going to wait a year, But Sony also announced that they're going to be doing, like, I think they call it first party games. They're going to be putting them on PC. I guess that's their acknowledgement of noticing PC as a competitor in a sense. Yeah. And then a lot of times they have, like, of course, Xbox Game Pass, which allows us to play over 100% more games on PC. So the migration is like pretty heavy. So like I don't see, of course, if my graphics card is going to cost as much as your dang your console, then I don't want to buy a console and then buy a graphics card and then realize that I'm going to play on something that has the better graphics, because I feel like anybody that's on console, man, and I came up on Xbox, we always wanted to see graphics improve,
Right.
I come from the 16-bit era, and then watching 16-bit to freaking Super Mario 64 and freaking Star Wars Squadron, which was a weird game, and Battlefront, like I played all those games and stuff when I was a kid, and just seeing like graphics change throughout the time, I just kind of migrate more towards PC now especially since I bought my new rig in July. It's
right.
been a great time. But I do spend a lot of downtime off stream playing my Switch. So I don't stream it, but like I said, I play a lot. Like everybody feels like all I do is play Destiny and stuff. Yeah, I have over 1,000 hours in this dang game. Some, let me tell you, like maybe 400's AFK. I'm just chilling, playing my Switch somewhere, or playing Mega Man X collections on my PlayStation. Like I'm chilling.
Yeah. I'm looking at the numbers here from warmind.io/activity, and it looks like Xbox, at least the chunk that is made up in game, the snapshots from the past 3 hours, 31% of the overall population of Destiny 2 in the last 3 hours is Xbox. So it actually is a larger percent than I thought it was. Honestly, I don't know. I always had a hard time finding people to play with, but that's me. But I'm hoping that this will, like, just like crossplay did or cross save did, hopefully it'll bring it to a lot more people's attention and really boost the numbers over there. So if anybody who's getting it on Xbox Game Pass, best of luck and welcome to the community if you're new. So outside of that, there's not really much. I'm gonna, like, we have a
Can I ask you a question?
Well, certainly.
What is this tweet that DMG put out about what's ending on September 24th? Putting in codes
for the Bungie rewards.
Right, but they're not talking about Forerunner, right? Because nobody has it yet.
No, I think it is more aimed at. So let me see if I can pop this up. So DMG, like a little bit before we went live, posted this note for all who've been asking about Season of Arrival's Bungie rewards. If you have additional questions, check out the full help article, post a thread on the help forum, or contact. Please note, code generation for Moments of Triumph and Season of Arrival's rewards will expire on September 24th. Codes generated before this time will expire and will not be able to be used later. A second code generation period will be available starting on the 24th at 10 a.m. PDT and will be available until November 13th. After this time, codes will no longer be available to generate. So, I have a feeling, I have just a hankering so most of that is like the Moments of Triumph shirt, the stuff of that nature that you would normally get from Bungie rewards. Because the season was supposed to end next week, September 24th was probably the original cutoff date for ordering that stuff before moving into the new season. Since the season has been extended, they probably need to end that code generation period and then start it back up for a new duration.
That code was probably like made to expire on. Yeah. What? The 24th would have been like 2 weeks after the season should have started.
I think, would the season have started this week or next
the 9th,
week?
Right? It would have started the 9th, I thought. Or was it the 14th? I don't know. In any event,
yeah,
they're usually set to expire a couple of days after a season. So, yeah. And is it really only the Moments of Triumph shirt? Is that really the only thing that they're talking about?
That, I'm trying to think of what else is in the Bungie rewards at this point in time. I'm going to sign into my account here and see what Bungie rewards I have. You're looking at that. I don't know if it's so much the pins. You're looking at your emblems for Triumph Master and Triumph Apprentice. That's the deadline for the Moment of Triumph shirt, the raid ring. Those two emblems, never mind. Those are earned by November 10th and order by the 13th. But you're looking at the Moments of Triumph shirt. You're looking at the raid ring and emblem. You're looking at the Prophecy hoodie that makes you look like I want to say ambassador, but that is not true. That is not right at all.
The emissary.
The emissary. You're looking at the Moments of Triumph pin and the Season of Arrivals pin. Would have all been deadline to claim reward would have been September 24th. But especially with the interference missions not taking place and not giving new lore for that last round, that makes me think that it would have been 2 weeks ago. We would have gotten the last lore piece. There would have been a week in between to buffer in order to get the new lore, or all the lore for that triumph, ending on the 24th on Thursday to then purchase those emblems and everything, or to purchase the pins, and then the next season would start. Would, in my mind, be how that
So
worked.
we didn't finish the interference lore book yet. Then we have Tuesday's the last entry, right?
You would think, but we don't know. It could be after Festival of Lost at this point too. So you're looking at all that stuff that says it ends on the 24th is going to get it, you're going to be able to generate a new code for it on the 24th as well, that then lasts until November 13th.
Did you get the email from Bungie?
Okay.
Telling you that you could buy another replica of the Ace of Spades?
I did.
And did you click that link to try and buy it?
No.
Good. Because it sold out in like seconds.
Oh,
I was so mad
familiar.
because I finally fell in love with that gun.
Yeah.
I had been using it exclusively for like 3 weeks straight. That was all I was using, was the Ace of Spades. And I was loving it so much. And I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it because I didn't care when I earned it.
Right.
Because 140s were so bad on controller that I didn't care. But now it's really good. Well, it's not really good. It's good enough.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, yes, I can get the replica. This is going to be great. And I clicked the link and it's like, not available, sold out. I was like, what do you mean? Like, you just told me I could, like, you just told me I could have it. Like, you just told me.
Mom.
Yeah, legitimately.
Bungie told me.
Mom moment. Like, man.
Call my uncle. Call my uncle at Bungie. I've got to talk to him.
I was so bummed about that. Like you actually emailed me to tell me.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and
then you took it away from me.
So I was going to ask this at the beginning of the questions section, because it really doesn't have much to do with Destiny, but we kind of talked about the consoles. We've now talked about this pre-order that didn't happen. So that leads me to ask, did either of you get a 3080 or a PS5?
No.
This week? Did anybody try to?
No.
No.
If Reb just built a new tower, a new PC, I doubt Reb's out there trying to get on a graphics card.
That's probably true.
I am. You should see my donation goal. I have to separate so my wife and I share accounts, man. So I had to separate. I had to create a donation goal, so then it goes to my PayPal business account. Right. She has no access to, so I am. But it's so gone, man. I really, like, my friends all try to gift subs and everything, you know. And then it's funny, they gifted all these subs, and I didn't even get the payout this month.
Oh man.
So then when the thing came out and it was just gone, I was just like, well, I guess it was for the best.
Yeah, it was fate. It was kismet. I've been looking at either the 3070 or the 3080, and seeing how fast the 3080s went, I now am like, I'm terrified by what's going to happen with the 3070 when it comes out. But
I haven't had the time to pour into even looking for it. Like, they made an announcement, that's cool. I mean, I'm at work, man. Like, I'm not at work. I'm sleeping, dude. So it's like, I'll get one of these when they're actually just chilling, you know?
Right.
There's no reason for me to get a first run though. Like, I'm not at a disadvantage with my current build and my current graphics card. It's like, yeah, it would be great, but I'm all right. Like, for now, this is the other thing about upgrading your graphics card. And this is what people don't tell you, is that having a great graphics card really only goes as far as your monitor.
Right.
So if you don't have a monitor capable of the specs that this thing has, there's no point in you really upgrading it anyway. Like, you're not going to get more performance if you're already at max settings. So I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about it.
Yeah. I thought about the 3080 and then saw the insanity that was. The PlayStation 5 conference, I liked a lot of those games that they showed, or I liked a few of those games that they showed. The hardware on the PS5 is really like what's more important to me. And I just found out that they're updating the downloading system so that it is smoother and better than the PS4, which is my number one issue with that.
I mean, AOL had a better downloading system.
Oh my god!
Download, install.
Oh my god! It feels like okay, this is gonna date me, and hopefully people don't. It's like when you download a picture on like dial-up, and it starts filling in from the top. I'm not gonna say what kind of picture, but I think people can fill that in. But like the picture starts filling in from the top, and then stalls for a minute, and then 50 minutes later.
Man, that reminds me of when I used to work at AT&T at a call center, and this guy calls in, and I was tech support, and this dude says, "Hey man, I can't get my porn on my phone anymore. My porn won't load up." And I'm like, "What's going on with your phone? That your adult stuff won't load up." He said, "Well, look, just check on my phone, man." And I looked at it. He had a flip phone.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in my mind, I'm just like, "Why are you looking at porn on a flip phone? And why are you calling me?" Like, "Sir, I think you just need to upgrade your phone. Like, I don't really, there's nothing in the system here that shows there's any issues with your network. And if you're utilizing 3G, and that's not slow. That's very slow, actually. So the newer phones have 4G LTE. You should upgrade your phone. And you'll also be able to watch videos on your phone." It was just so stupid. I was like, God, I really have to tell this guy how to watch porn in 20
or Planet Destiny videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Wink.
Shameless plug. Let me go back in time and tell him now.
I'm gonna call Reb at work and be like, "Dude, my flip phone, I can't watch the Planet Destiny podcast on my flip phone,
man." Do you have a tablet at home, sir?
Oh man. But yeah, that was pretty much all the news. If the download is fast on a PS5, it actually piques my interest to get one, possibly before the end of the year, even though there's no launch titles that I really need. So
I didn't see any, I didn't even see the games that I think I've seen somebody talk about. What is it, God of War, Valhalla or something, or Ragnarok or something?
God of War Ragnarok, but that doesn't come out until 2021.
Right, which is most of these. Like, is this going to launch like the Xbox 360 did, and it had one game and like one game only, which was a really good one. One of the first games for the 360 was Rainbow Six Vegas, which was a phenomenal game. But it's like, is it going to launch anything? Didn't one game launch with like Star Fox and Star Fox only? Was it like the GameCube? Like the only game for it was Star Fox at the time or something?
Sounds right.
Maybe.
Yeah. There's that, and you can possibly play Destiny at 60 frames a second, however they upgrade that. The big thing I think was that they're doing a thing with PlayStation Plus users that and giving, I think, up to 100 games away for free. If I could be wrong in saying that, but I think that's like, if you have PlayStation Plus at launch for the PS5, there is a plethora of games that you could download and play on the PS5.
I just want backwards compatibility. Like I never had a PlayStation 3, so there's a bunch of titles I never got a chance to play.
Oh yeah,
and I just want to go backwards in time and experience all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I've spent so much time, like Reb said, like, I'm a huge RPG fan. Like, I love RPG games. I love them so much that I never want to play another one after I play one because I fall in love with it. So it's like, I have all these games I want to go back and experience again, kind of thing. So if backwards compatibility, if there is 100 games you can get, that's going to be pretty neat. I think thanks to mid-roll ad revenue on Twitch, I think I'm going to be able to get all of the consoles. I might even buy multiple consoles. I might just have one for every room because of all the money that I'm going to make from the mid-roll ads on Twitch, you know? So, and that's sarcasm. I don't even broadcast anymore. Like, I don't even go live chat. Like, I haven't streamed in like a month. Like, it's a joke. And ad revenue, you get like a 20th of a penny per viewer, maybe.
Yeah, I got 75 cents on my. I was like, okay,
I'm joking. Yeah. Like, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But I could see myself grabbing the consoles at some point because you just never know. You never know what's going to be coming down the pipeline. A lot of people are saying, I want to see Destiny in 60 FPS, and I think that's a good thing. But if you are used to playing on PC above 100 frames, 60 is going to be a downgrade.
Yeah.
Like the difference
also,
between 30 and 60 is insane, right? But the difference between 60 and 120 is noticeable, right? It's a pretty noticeable difference.
Right.
So I'm not sure that all of the PC elitists out there are going to be like, yeah, unless the gaming experience itself is so much better, load times for menus are so much better. I'm just not convinced that the frame rate being an upgrade from what PlayStation 4 was alone is going to be enough to draw people to it.
And if the field of view doesn't have a slider or anything like that, then issue.
Yeah, they definitely need to add an FOV slider to make it remotely anything, I don't know, acceptable. You
anything
know what I mean?
Like PCs.
I made a poll here, it was a 7-day poll, and I got about 72 votes. But I was just like, in the state that Destiny's in right now, how many, what would you rather take? And it was like PC equals cheaters or console equals doxing and DDoSing and stuff. And 77% of the people said cheaters. And that said a lot as far as the transition that everybody said they're going to go back to, because honestly, I knew a lot of guys that would educate me on how that stuff worked with the DDoSing and things like that, and how people are able to still hit through standard VPNs. You have to have an OVH, and most people don't know about that stuff. So it's
let's not give it an education
it's dangerous. It's just dangerous, man, to be on console. Either way, it doesn't matter if it's on 60 FPS and things like that. It's just dangerous. It's just so much on the line, especially as a content creator. It's just not safe, And I've seen one actual get hit off multiple times.
I remember that. Yeah.
And he would he'll tweet all day. He'll tweet about it. Like the guys in his chat, he's DMing me and the boys, and we're looking in chat looking for the dude, and it's just like, wow, man. But he comes to PC and he doesn't have those issues. But the only reason why he didn't play on PC was because he felt like he couldn't keep up. But that's just because he wouldn't let go of the controller, Right. And I told him, you may be really good on console and controller and stuff like that on console, and you come to PC, it's not going to be the same thing. It's a different speed, And so
he could keep up. I played with him on PC. He was fine.
He just does it. He keeps up in the aspect of holding lanes. He doesn't play like Fisco. Fisco's there's not a lot of controller
5 people on the planet
know.
play like Fisco do.
Like Leclerc and stuff, But there's not a lot of people that can play controller and they can keep up with PC players. There's definitely not. Like Sayaru and the dude in IM, he's nutty. He doesn't even look like he plays on controller. But it just all ties down to pick your poison,
Right. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited about the PS5. The Xbox Series X seems interesting. I think if you get the streaming box with Xbox Game Pass on it, you're kind of in the sweet spot there. Plus, they do financing on that, so I don't know.
Also, side note: if you have Discord Nitro or don't have it right now, they give you 3 months if you get Discord Nitro.
Oh yeah.
Yep. 3 months free.
It's a wonderful value proposition. They have a lot of really good games on there. I think Spiritfarer is on there. I think that's one of the big ones that's come out recently that people have been liking. I know. I can't remember. I think Void Bastards is on there. That was a favorite of mine last year. All sorts of stuff. Go play games. It's a good time to be a gamer. Overall. Getting into community questions. We have Frankie M3. Question for later. I believe that all exotics should come with some intrinsic form of champion disabling. What would your favorite exotic have as a champion suppressing mod? Reb, what's your
for me,
exotic? What would it break?
I would say Overload. Okay. Overload on a Graviton.
Okay.
Because Graviton, so it's very underrated in the sense of utilizing it for PvP or PvE, excuse me. Even if they had it for Fighting Lion, I'm a huge Fighting Lion connoisseur. I have almost 10K on it actually, but I use a lot in PvE. And so like,
Right.
you know, overload or something like I think that's the only thing you can put on it, right? If really like you put unstoppable on a grenade launcher, that'd be kind of weird. But
Boy.
or even armor piercing, that'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Aura?
That's a really good question from Frankie, dude. That's a really good question. I don't know. To be honest with you, the Grandmasters that I ran today, I didn't use a single exotic. I ran Mountaintop, Ancient Gospel, which by the way, I hate that hand cannon. I hate it so much. Ancient Gospel,
Why?
and then the sword, whatever the hell the
Flying Guillotine?
Yeah, that's the one. And so like I don't like Ancient Gospel because I feel like it's a weak hand cannon. It sounds really poopy too. It doesn't sound very ballsy to me.
Right.
It sounds really weak. But we needed to use the solar one for the solar shield, so I had to use a solar hand cannon.
Mm-hmm.
But that's an interesting question. I don't know. Like, what's my favorite exotic to use? I mean, honestly, I'd probably go with Ace of Spades, and I'd probably go with Unstoppable on an Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
If I was gonna pick anything, I'd be cool with that.
So, this isn't my favorite, but like utility play. If you had anti-barrier on an Izanagi, on the Izanagi sniper, unstoppable. Just you're killing it out there, Smalls.
That'd be ridiculous.
It'd be so
I can't
good.
even find a rare bounty to finish that, so that'd be ridiculous.
just visit Ada, man.
Farming for 2 months. And then look, when I finally got it, right? I was trying to farm for the stupid armor pieces because that's what it was telling me to do, and the season ended.
Oh. And
they got rid of my bounty.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
5 weeks, man.
See, I just got I've been working on blacksmith and I have had 2 drop within the past like month. So maybe try soon. I don't know.
Nope.
We're seeing hard light with anti-barrier from Gray Fox in the chat. And Xeno with unstoppable rounds would be bonkers. Telesto with overload. Angelus. That's too strong. Let's see. We have, speaking of Gray Fox, with Beyond Light creeping towards us, what surprises would you want to find in the snow planet that no one has discovered?
A new weapon type.
Thing is this secret.
Yeah.
Like a new archetype of weapon of some sort. Something we've never seen before that's not recycled.
I'd have a hard time picturing. Like, I feel like we're seeing that with Ruinous Effigy and with Witherhoard. I feel like we're seeing not a new archetype, but we're seeing archetypes perform in ways that we haven't before. So I feel like Bungie's on that path. We talked about it maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I missed the show last week, but it's like this kind of feels like the handcuffs being taken off the weapon developers.
Yeah.
To like allow them to not break the game, but to create new ways for us to be insanely, stupidly powerful. And so I'm wondering if there's
what if
just
there was
more
tonfas, bro?
What is it?
Like different melee types, you know, instead of swords, we had like staffs and tonfas and freaking dual daggers. Like
I'm thinking something like the Needler.
Yeah.
You know, how come we haven't seen a Needler back yet?
Oh god. That cheating gun.
I mean, don't you kind of have the Needler back with that Gambit weapon?
What Gambit weapon?
The Gambit exotic. It's a hand cannon. It blows everything up.
Oh, you're talking about Malfeasance?
I don't use it, so.
Yeah.
No, that's. I mean,
that's different. Needler tracks people, man.
Gotcha.
Needler was insane. Like Needler, we had one of them, you were useless, but if you had 2, you blew everything up. You tore through people with it.
Yeah.
But
you like, I mean, how many different
ways or weapons are there for Bungie to make at this point? Like my brain goes to railgun, but I feel like we
kind of
have them in linear fusion rifles that suck, you know. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't know what else they can do other than give us like a flamethrower, like a void.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like some kind of like send people into the void, create like black hole kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like you shoot it like a teleporter that just sucks whatever's nearby into it.
yeah.
The problem with weapons like that is they never work on your majors and your bosses, obviously.
Right.
But it's like, I mean, that's kind of where my brain would go.
I would want a grenade ability, kind of like well, I mean, they tested them in Jackass, the crowd control devices, where like but it's a proximity mine, but as it goes, it shoots like tiny balls of void out in like a large spread. It may not kill the enemy initially, but it like definitely does some damage to a wide swath. That would be cool. Or an exotic grenade thing. I don't know. Something. Let's see. Last question for the evening. The Destiny Show asks, this is for Reb. How has your life changed since getting married and with the changes from this year? What are some positives? What are some negatives? Or whatever you want to focus on.
Okay. Well, when we got married, it was during the midst of COVID, of course. We got married July 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a week. It was honestly the hardest time for me because not too long before that, of course, Father's Day came around, and I went to go see my dad, and I took my wife's dog. It was her puppy of 80 years, and we had him for about 6 months. Took him with me, and he ran off, and I lost him for about an hour, and we found him in the road. And so him passing away and then going through the process of getting married, it was hard. And it was hard at first because mentally and emotionally, I was like, I wasn't all the way there because it was hard. Like, saying the I do, I thought about like a lot of things that tie with it. Of course, I was still kind of mourning, but now it's like, it's different. It's like, instead of like, I've known this woman for 17 years of my life, and now we're married, and we're incorporating families, and just, we got a new puppy about 3-4 weeks ago. Training her, we're on different career paths now than we were before, and we're trying to start a family, like an actual family, and so all those things considered, it's been very different, and I want to say, like, incorporating my time with streaming, it's been difficult. Because she's not from the gaming world. She didn't have brothers and sisters that played video games growing up like that. One of her brothers was like an all-time, all-state football player, and her sisters were, I don't know what they were, but
right.
And then she was just, I met her in choir. She was just a singer girl, and she went to church. That was about the most that they ever did. So, like, coming and meeting me, I'm the gamer guy. I grew up in a house of musicians and gamers, and incorporating the two 3 years before meeting her and trying to create a new normal, it's been different. And sometimes it just be like, I'll say I'm about to go stream for a little bit. She gives me like an open window, and I think about like all that I can accomplish in that time, and it doesn't seem like I'm streaming at all. So then there's times where I just feel like maybe I shouldn't stream today. I'll call it off because like because she'll be off, and then I know that she wants to spend time because that's one of her love languages. I have to understand that too. So it's been different. It's definitely been different because I'm trying to prioritize and have time management for all of this, especially while taking care of my home and going to a full-time job, being a manager. It's just I juggle a lot, and a lot of people. I'm very grateful for the people that do come by the stream. I know my numbers aren't as big as they used to be. Because I did leave for a 4-month hiatus prior to, because I lost my grandmother, and I was dealing with a lot of, I guess you would say, cyberbullying in Destiny.
Sucks.
Yeah, it was like people trying to DDoS me and post my IP in chat and stuff like that. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And coming back, and I'm just pretty much on a revamp, and like that's why
Yeah.
I've been networking so much, because I do want to, I do want to be a content creator. I do want to reach out to people. I do want to network. I do want to grow. I do, I don't, and I have no secret agenda. I don't want to be famous. I don't, I just want people to know what I've done and not who I am.
Right. You want to make good work and let that speak for itself.
Exactly, because there might be a day where I get a child and I have to hang up streaming altogether. There just might be that day, and I have to prepare for that. And I just, if I do decide to leave, I want to leave, and everybody knows like Reb was, Reb was Reb. I don't. If anybody that knows me, they'll never. There's nobody I've ever met like that knows me that will ever say like I was toxic. I was, I did this. There's no DMs. You will not find one DM of me being racist or anything. Like all that stuff that pops up on people, that's not gonna pop up on me. I always consider like I never have time for that. I'm too old. I'm too much of an adult to indulge in those things. I had a guy trying to pull me into some stuff, and I was like, look, man, I'm sorry that you're going through that, but I can't help you with that. I can only tell you what I think you should do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll support you in that, and I hope that it gets fixed. But you're not gonna drag me into scenarios, And so
well, you're just growing along the way. It's this year's been tough, but hey, it sounds like you have some really good things going for you. You said I know when we were DMing, you said that you were working on music again, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I'm waiting on this one man. This guy I've been working with for 6 years. Okay, and he's still the same. He gets on my freaking nerves, but he's like my little bro. I've mentored him and everything, and he's putting out albums and projects and stuff like that. But when it comes to my features, I never hear back from this guy. It's been almost 5 months, okay? And I'll text him, Jordan, what are you doing, bro? Oh yeah, bro, I'll give it to you. I'll get it to you. I promise it's coming. And it's like I have to do it like once a month, and I'm just like, you suck, okay? Because he honestly, like, literally, I'm like, I have, that's happened to me. That's like most of my music career. People would just, they won't hit me back, or they'll just take forever to hit me back. And then I'm like, okay, I'm either like impressed or disappointed. And I have, like, there was this one chick, took her 2.5 months to give me back one verse. And when she did give it back, it wasn't even completed. There was like eight or 9 bars of blank. And I'm like, hey, did you forget to send me something, or is there anything else? She's like, no, that was it. And I'm like, okay, well, I ended up having to take her vocals and loop it twice and then sing over it. So like, just to make it fill in. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm not working with her no more. But
as somebody, as someone who was in bands for like 10 years, I think Aura can speak to this too. If there's one thing musicians are not, it is timely.
Oh my gosh, tell me about it, man.
And I'm a bass player.
Oh, you're always late.
I'm not only late to practice, I'm late on the 1-2.
Yep. Live bands, I tell you. And that's those are fun to put together.
Yeah, they are.
I'd rather have a plan B, have a track in the back, just in case. We're missing our keyboard player? What do you mean?
All right.
Hey, who can play keyboard here?
Put the recording on.
Do you know this song?
I've literally been at shows where they were like, somebody didn't show up and have to jump on stage and fill in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like that.
I've seen drummers do that, and that always impresses the shit.
Hey, there was this one pastor that did that at his church. It was super funny. He had this super big event happen, and his drummer was super late, and he just jumped on the drums himself, and he killed it. That junk was dope. He just was like, forget it, bro. Like, let's go. 1, 2, 3. I was like, yeah, let's go.
That's awesome.
When I was at Penn State, I was watching a band. I didn't even know these guys.
Yeah.
And the bass player literally broke his finger.
Oh,
like
God.
In between sets, he like fell or something and broke his finger. And like, is there anybody who can play bass in the house? I'm like, yeah, I had like 6 beers. I'm like, I can play bass.
The musical version of is there?
All right, get up here. The singer pulls me aside. He's all right, dude. There's 4 chords in this song. It's the same 4 chords. We're just gonna play the same song. And I was like, all right, play with these dudes I met before. Then we just kicked off a bunch of like 90s alternative rock songs in Nirvana or Foo Fighters or whatever. And ended up playing 45 minutes with them. Never saw them before, never saw them again. Yeah, thanks, dude. See you.
Best of luck on that finger.
Sweet victory.
That was it.
Oh man,
that was fun.
I can't think of a time where I played. I just remember like there was this one time we were playing a festival up at Ball State, and this drunk lady got on stage and decided that she could sing harmony, but she couldn't. It was
oh god, the amount of time, dude. Well, so when you play in a cover band, you learn ways around it.
Yeah.
And so we always had a dead mic with us.
Oh, that's.
And so whenever anybody came up to do their little clowning,
that one.
Yeah, here you go. Here's a microphone. And they'd pick it up, dude. They'd be singing as loud as they could. They'd be think that everybody was going like, and just nothing coming out of the PA. Yeah, we learned that real quick.
Chef's kiss. That is perfect. I don't know why I never thought of that.
It was on the stand. It was all. It had the cable running to the board, the lights lighting up and everything. No sound coming out of it. Nothing. It was great.
That is so good. Oh man. Well, I think that's our show for the evening. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can turn my fans back on. I'm super hot. I'm glad the camera's not on. I'd look like melted chocolate.
Reb, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show this evening. Where can people find you on the internet, good sir?
You guys can find me on twitch.tv/Rebuken. Of course, it's spelled the original name. I used to have Rebuken TV, Rebuken _, and then I had to wait about a year for Rebuken to just randomly pop up. So now I have it. And also, you can find me on Twitter. I am twitter.com/Rebuken with 2 N's. I post a lot of like memes and random questions. So if you guys ever like want to feel like you guys want to respond, and I'm very random. Okay, I was probably like one of.
I can attest to that.
Yes, I say some really random stuff, but it's very. I only do it just to like engage. I don't know.
I'll just like there's Red being red, dude.
Yep.
I could have handpicked that from your brain, put it in there, and no one would have thought. Like if I hacked your account, I could probably like think of things to tweet, and you'd be like, yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah, I was on James Works Guardian Royale, and I was like, I don't know, man. I said something about herpes, and everyone was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like the girl had herpes. I don't know. Just like, I just say stuff.
Reb being Reb.
Reb being Reb.
Me being me.
Reb being Reb.
Yep. Reb being Reb.
Yep.
Aura,
but yeah,
what about,
that's it.
What about you, bud? Where can they find you on the internet?
Hell if I know where you can. If you find me on my couch in my basement, y'all, like that's where I'm at when I get home from work. Twitch.tv/Aura, maybe someday again. Who the hell knows? On Twitter, I am known as Evil Aura, 3VIL_AURA. I'm also I'm around. You guys will see me around. I'm playing the game. I'm signed in. I'm in Discords. I'm here. I've got nothing left in the tank when I get home from work, so I just sleep.
You're like a gaming ghost. You're here.
Yeah, I almost never see you on, so I'm just like, am I even following this guy anymore?
I haven't streamed in 27 days, I think, was my last time I broadcast.
Wait,
so
James Work hasn't streamed in a month either.
I'm not quitting by any means. I'm not ready to hang it up. I just got to get a handle on my new responsibilities at work, and we got to take care of the home life first. So streaming will take a back seat for a little bit, but that's the beauty of Twitch is I can take time off and just come back whenever.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not as cool as you. I come back to 4 viewers after taking time off. You
hey,
come
listen,
back
I might be back at 4 too. That's all right. I'll cherish those 4 with all my heart.
Numbers aren't everything.
They aren't, but if they're lurkers,
so
I'm
it
just
goes.
Kidding. Lurkers' lives matter.
Yeah,
kind of.
All right. Well, my name's Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Danfinity, where the eyes are L's. You can also find me on Twitch 3 days a week, twitch.tv/Danfinity. I've got the next 2 weeks off, so I'm just gonna be working on stuff off and on. I have my birthday's on Thursday, so the 24th, when all those codes go bad. So do I. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And that is it for episode 254 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We appreciate you guys sticking around and listening, and I hope you find what you're grinding for.